Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, and today we're going to look at the mystery snail. This will be episode 37 in my profile series, so please stay tuned. This is my new 10-gallon plant tank. Now it's been up for almost 3 weeks now. I added a few more neon tetras because I had one and he looked lonely. And I also added a few mystery snails. Mystery snails are freshwater aquarium snails readily available at most local fish stores and big box stores. Mystery snails are most often seen in the brown hues, although there are many variations from creamy white to gradient, even found to have striped markings as well. Their heads are usually a dark gray or even black, with their feet being lighter. Their body can be an assortment of colors from yellow gold to blue purple and everything in between. They also have orange spots like freckles all over their body and their heads, which adds to their mystery. These unique creatures have a built-in trapdoor called an operculum that is used to safely lock themselves into the protection of their shell. When purchasing mystery snails, the same rules apply for any aquatic pet purchases. You want to avoid a tank where there are sickly or dead tank mates. Check out their shells for cracks or pitting that indicate they may be unhealthy. I watch the tank a bit and choose snails that are actively moving or stuck on the glass. Floating or laying upside down can indicate the snail may be dead or dying. Mystery snails can suffer injuries from tank mates, such as missing tentacles, eye stalks, or even their siphon. You want to take the time to make sure the snails you select are fully intact and healthy. Mystery snails vary in size as well, most commonly found around 2 inches in diameter. Larger snails are not necessarily healthier. There are many aspects you need to examine in choosing healthy snails. Mystery snails are well suited to calm, peaceful environments as they are non-aggressive and quite docile by nature. They are defenseless, having no weapon against attack. Their only means of escape is closing themselves up in their shell, pulling the operculum tightly closed behind them. As you would expect, snails are not quick movers, taking their time scavenging for tidbits along the way. They can be very active at night or day. Moving across the glass or substrate, they seem to glide. Mystery snails can be found dormant at times, but they're usually just resting and it's no need to worry. Mystery snails will climb to the top of the glass and then let go and free fall to the bottom. Often when this happens, you will see a release of air from under their shell. They are air breathers, so often they need to make the trek to the surface to get some air. They will use their siphon, taking in the air that they need. Snails are escape artists, so keeping a lid on your aquarium is recommended. If not, it's wise to do a head count from time to time. They can injure themselves by falling and hitting the floor, or simply dry out and die. The tank size can be determined by the rules that apply to fish. They are basically like any other inhabitant. People add them to their tanks as cleaning crew members, forgetting that they add as much waste as they consume, just like any other tank mate. They do well in a small tank or large tanks as long as they are stocked properly and well established. Mystery snails adapt to a wide range of water parameters, although sudden fluctuations or instability can be stressful for them. They prefer a pH range of 7 to 7.5, temperatures between 68 and 82 degrees, and they do much better in harder water. Calcium levels need to be kept in check to provide them with the nutrients they need to maintain a healthy shell. Periodic calcium supplements can be added if they're showing weak shells with pits or cracks. Elements to be aware of are your intakes on your filter system, as they can be hazardous to snails. They can get themselves stuck in the slots of the filter intake. If they're unable to get free, they can get stressed and begin to swell. This is a deadly situation that needs to be avoided. It's also important when adding mystery snails to your aquarium that you do not drop them in. Just gently put them in onto the substrate and allow them to get their bearings. They may get stressed if upside down and have trouble righting themselves while being introduced to a new home. Mystery snails are sensitive to touch, so much so that they're able to tell a good touch from a threatening touch. When bumped by a tank mate, they may not react at all. However, if touched by a hand or an aggressor, they will respond quickly, pulling themselves into their shell and closing their operculum for safety. I have read that mystery snails do best in planted tanks. Mine tend to eat my plants. If they aren't satisfied, apparently they may go for your plants, usually preferring the softer leaved plants. It's suggested to add some salvia for them to eat, which will draw them away from eating your healthy plants. Now, I have not tried that yet, but I do give them romaine lettuce and they eat that up rather quickly. They will clean up all the dead vegetation. The detritus in the tank is their main source of food, but they also enjoy algae, leftover food, and anything else that may be edible. Their diet can also be supplemented with fresh veggies such as cucumbers, zucchini, lettuce, and so on. If the food is still there after a day or two, it should be removed. Snails react differently to different foods, so trial and error is normal. A mystery snail's lifespan is about a year. It can be a little longer with good conditions. It's not uncommon to lose a mystery snail shortly after introducing them to a new tank. There are a few reasons for this, such as stress from transporting, drastic water temperature changes, or water parameters. You will have no trouble recognizing a dead snail. If unsure, move the snail to a small container and watch him for a bit. A dead snail has a very nasty odor. Tank mates for mystery snails are vast. From shrimp to other snail species, community fish, and algae eaters, they are all good choices. If you have a male and female mystery snail, it's very likely they will breed. The females are usually larger than the males. The females will deposit a cluster of eggs above the water line. Snails breathe air and must be out of the water to hatch safely. A cluster of eggs looks like a pile of bubbles. As they get closer to hatching, they will begin to appear brittle and dry. The new snails will work their way out of their little bubbles and down to the water. Mystery snails are interesting additions to any aquarium that is suited to their needs as far as tank mates and water parameters go. A planted tropical community tank is a preferred home for them. They're really fun to watch and add something special to an aquarium. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a super day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.